You're a good man. You desire good things. You like to help people who are in need. You try to do well in school or at your job. You try to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually. Maybe you like to pray and help out at church, your family, the environment even, God's creation. You desire many things, good things, but are they God's things? The things He desires for you? In his treatise of Rebuke and Grace, St. Augustine argues that God's grace works within us to such an extent that He wills within our will. I truly desire and do something because it is my free will, and so it is for my merit, but it's God's will moving my will to freely will it. It's one of the marvelous ways God divinizes us, and we become united with Him by sharing His will. But you're not in heaven yet. Not everything you desire, even good things, is God's will. So how can we know the difference between my will and God's? Oftentimes, it's failure. Not that I failed, therefore that wasn't God's will, but actually, rather, what feels like failure to us is really God's will. When I was in seminary, I was one time playing rugby while barefoot. And during one match, I was sprinting and I stopped to cut quickly and my toe got caught and bent under my foot. Adrenaline let me keep playing, but afterwards I realized I fractured my foot. This meant I had to slow down for several weeks. I had to give myself more time to get to class. I couldn't get the exercise I wanted to do or run around with friends or do as much ministry as I desired. Those were all good things I wanted to do, but what I really needed was rest and to recover. I didn't want to rest, I hated slowing down, but it was pretty clear that God's will was to do that so that I could get better. It was a good lesson that my will, while I may desire good things, is not always God's will. We don't always get what we want. Things don't go according to plan. Your friends have different plans than you for how to spend the night. You run into obstacles for your work projects. You want to date somebody, but they're not interested. Not getting what you want is good. It's a reminder that you're not in charge. It is an opportunity to trust God. Father Walter Chiswick, in his book, He Leadeth Me, describes how failing spectacularly in the biggest possible way taught him that God's will is less about discerning what we're called to do, and is more about recognizing what God is doing. God's will is done first and foremost by God Himself. God invites me to cooperate with Him, but He's the one in charge. That might seem scary, but that sets me free to not worry so much about making mistakes. I really just have to seek His will and do the best that I can, and He will take care of the rest. If you think that God is likely calling you to the priesthood, pursue it. If it's not God's will, He will stop you and set things straight, and you'll be better off for the process. It might seem safer to wait it out. But next time, we'll talk about the very real dangers of sitting on the fence and how that's not a great discernment strategy. But for now, ask God for the grace to act with courage, even with the risk of making a mistake. Because with God, even failure is success.